Hello, good people. Welcome back to our channel. Richard here, and we're back. Surprisingly, after 2 days. For those of you who are new to this channel, the name of the channel is called Serve Your Time, and what basically the purpose and the value that we always want to give, or I believe that is what this channel is serving, is to try and share our reality and how we see things, in the hope that someone out there will, find meaning or relate and be able to, use that to better themselves or others. So personally, I think that for me, serving my time would mean beyond the service I do in a business, trying to share my experiences and how they relate to reality, or as life presents itself to me, is in itself an important aspect of my my time, on this world. So, yes, without further ado, and thank you again for those who keep continued support. I'm very appreciative, and it means a lot in the sense that it's basically, as long as there's just one person who is listening in, that is all. So I'm grateful, and I'm happy, and that also means that whatever it is that I'm sharing could somehow get somewhere and reach someone. Anyway, obviously it's day 2. As you can see, my smiley shiny head is still at that, and perhaps it's growing fast. So let's see how that goes. Anyway, the topic of the day, as you could see, is to do with acceptancy is more like water. What I've really come to realize, and resistance is more like resistance is more like a rock, in a sense that acceptance is likely to yield love, and resistance is most likely to yield sadness, or hate, or push things away. But at the same time, you can only I think when you accept is when now you start living, obviously, as life presents itself. And this occurred to me actually yesterday. I think that if you saw the video 2 days ago, it was about winning, losing, and I was sharing my experiences, because I have been going through a very challenging work, life balance. Not because of anything, but because sometimes things are tough, and you have to find yourself, and you have to continue moving forward regardless. And so so yesterday, I think I had one of the worst days in terms of it all coming down, hell breaking rules, and just like, okay, what the hell is going on, because yesterday, so I had a very crucial meeting that I went for, and it definitely didn't go well, at least the way I saw it. Well, there was a lot of ambushing. I was dealing with cross culture. There was a lot of kind of personality, and other personalities, in fact, and there were different expectations in that business meetings. But of course, and then I had to find myself thinking, on my feet, and trying to salvage or make the situation the best I could. Not because sometimes you can't be that prepared, but obviously maybe it's because, of course, of what's happening in terms of the challenges of work. So after that, and then I had another very stressing case, I would say, that is just really getting to my head, in the sense that it's just, you're like, okay, uh, this doesn't seem to be going anywhere, right? And you feel for your clients, you feel for yourself, and on top of that, a lot of things happened, and it was like everything was, feel like the world is like pushing you in a corner, and nothing seems to be working. But then because you have to fight. There's no option. Like, you have to keep trying, or you have to keep doing what you have to do. So I'm like, okay, so I have been like really, really pushing, and what do I do? Anyway, so I get to my house. I'm like, okay, let me call it a day, and get home. So I get home, way past 9, I think, or something like that, p.m. And I don't have my keys. I don't have my house keys. So I had left my house keys in the door, and in a way, they had been locked outside. I left them in the house, and I couldn't access, and it had been locked by the, the cleaning, person. So then I couldn't find the offline. It's past 9 p.m. I am extremely exhausted. I am extremely burnt out. I am emotionally drained. And I'm like, okay, so this is it. This is it. Sometimes when they say when it rains, it pours. So eventually, I managed to get through to the caretaker, and I'm able to access the house way later, and that meant I had to, get go out of travel distance, come back, and then get hold secure keys, because it was extremely. So I got home, and I sort of asked myself, okay, what is this? So and straight out, my mind went to the most the most stressful things, and specifically the the case that I was hunting. I'm like, okay, tell you what, I accept. If it's not going to work, or if it's I cannot. I'm just but providing services, and I'm only human. So the moment I accepted that, everything changed. My mental it was like, oof. And and then everything that I had been resisting, everything that I had been stressing about, everything I've been fighting to hold on to, and I not realize that I'm actually pushing things and people away. I felt like, okay, I've made peace with myself. And surprisingly, actually, that very night, I reached out to the client, and somehow, we found something that could work. But the thing is, So I began to ask myself, okay, what exactly has changed, right? What has been so difficult? Um, so at my lowest moment, at my lowest point, I would say, at least in in this period in time, is when I actually found calmness, and because I accept that, in fact, tell you what, it's okay, whatever it is, work, personal life, I'm not going to push anything further than this, and I accept. So, but then the opposite happened. So I began actually looking into myself. How have I been handling? What have I been doing wrong? What have I been doing right? And ultimately, I made a lot of. There was a lot of self-realization. What mistakes I've been doing. How have I been? Treating. The work and the people around me. So I just realized, okay, oh, actually, I've been sad the entire time. I've been resisting, and I've actually been giving away uh, that kind of vibe, that kind of energy, and actually, uh, that in itself was not helping anything, right? Work was stuck. Personally, I was stuck. I couldn't move. I couldn't think straight for the longest, and it was really affecting everything. So, so it made me think, because I think I had read somewhere before, I know about water. I'm sure, I don't know, but if you any one of you would have heard that there is this saying, be like water, because you see, water water is the one thing that will always find a way. It actually, it was I think a quote I watched in a video of it was a clip, I think, on YouTube. It was one of those Bruce Lee, the legend kung fu master, the Chinese American, I think, actor. And Bruce Lee, in that clip, that was many years ago. It's like, you have to be like water, because water, it doesn't matter. If water wants to actually move, water will move, and you cannot stop it, right? But water is the softest thing ever. It's you can't even, you can feel it, but you can't get hold of it, but it will find a way. And what basically he was trying to explain is that you sometimes, if you like water, you flow. So in this particular case, uh, in my comparison to my experience, uh, I immediately felt like a whole different person. I immediately actually began not necessarily blaming or feeling sorry for myself, but actually appreciating my faults, appreciating that, in fact, uh, some of the things that are, maybe I've been doing things the wrong way, not necessarily wrong, but I have been giving, been so because I've not accepted the situation. So that means I have not allowed myself to be like water, because then I believe that, and I've felt, and I feel this today very strongly. Actually, I don't usually videos every other day, but I said, okay, this one here, I really have to talk about it. So I felt like, okay, so when you accept, you're the same person. uh, 10 hours ago, you felt like, you're stressing everyone around you, you're stressing, your businesses, and it's because you're now, you're resisting. You're like a rock, right? You're like a rock, and a rock, you can't move, right? Of course, we admire, rocks and mountains from a distance, of course, but a rock is a rock. It's just and one or the other, it will always, create resistance. Because unless maybe it's an earthquake or something dramatic, you can't push away a rock. Of course, I'm not talking about small rocks. I'm talking about rocks in the probably category of that are close to mountains, or you can say mountains, right? So, and then I said, okay, so acceptance could actually be water, which actually translates to love, because when now I felt acceptance, I felt I've hit rock bottom, nothing is working, this is it. You know what? Let nature take its course. Everything changed in my mind, and I began thinking of, solutions to things. I began looking at myself in a very different perspective, and I began realizing, oh, okay, really, I must have been a rock. And you see what happens when you're a rock in this context, in my view, based on this experience, is that you will give out sadness, you give out resistance, you give out hatred. You will because at the end of the day, you can't give what you don't have. You can't give love if you don't feel love. You can't give happiness if you don't feel happiness, like within you. You can't give. I mean, if you don't smile, unless otherwise, people won't smile back to you, right? If you so in a way, it's basically understanding that life is life as we know it, And I'm not saying that don't resist, and I'm not saying that there will be no situation. No. But all I'm trying to say, I have come to a realization that until there will be moments, and in fact, even the moments of difficulty, you have to live those moments, and you have to understand and accept. The sooner you accept, the faster you switch mentally. And the moment you switch from resistance, from being a rock to being water, then you will flow, right? Because as I've said in this in the caption, because if you accept and flourish or float, right? Resist and perish or drown. Basically, what it means that I'll give you a real life example. Like when I was, I think in high school, it's high school. That was I used to be, I wasn't a very good swimmer, to be fair. I'm not even saying right now, I don't know if I'm a good swimmer anyway. But I used to have like sort of phobia. When I was growing up as a kid, I didn't really get a chance to learn to swim at my young age. So remember in my, I think in my high school, we had a lake next to within the school, like a small lake, but it was sort of part of, not necessarily owned by the school, but part of it was owned by the school. So we sometimes would be allowed on weekends to step out and just because this was a single boys school, so you just go do your thing. Obviously for a specific amount of hours, then you come back. Now, one day we went and my friends, boys, guys jumped into water, and a lake is more like forget about a proper lake. This is more like a swamp, but a swampy lake. A swampy lake, however big or small, is muddy, right? So it's usually a bit dangerous, unless of course in some cases they put like they bring sun to it. So I remember my friends, group of my friends, they're like, you guys, you don't want to swim. Why don't scared of water? They just threw me in the pool, rather in the lake, and of course we always had people around us, those part of the staff, and it was not like they were trying to kill me. It wasn't even a very deep one. So I remember getting in, and I was so scared, and actually I was actually drowning because I was like, and of course they grabbed me because they were like 30 boys in the pool, in the lake, and people were just messing around with everyone. Anyway, so and fast forward to not too long ago, I think last year or something. Yeah, I think last year. I went snorkeling for the first time, and remember, after that bit of experience, I sort of like shied away from water, but eventually, I kept going to later on. I'd go to swimming pools, and at least learn basics, because I didn't want to have that experience ever again. So I had sort of learned basics. Eventually, I learned how to swim. Anyway, so then I went snorkeling in the deep sea, and that was my first experience, and you don't necessarily, it depends if at what level you are. I mean, I'm not really a diver or anything, but I was able, because for snorkeling, especially in I'll speak for Kenya, places like Wasini is one of the most famous, I would believe, because there's a sort of a marine park. There's a specific area where you go and you get out of the boat, right? You're actually in the deep sea, literally. And now, you are, if you're good, you'll actually be able to dive in, and but I was able to actually get in, of course, with a guide, and I had to have a life jacket anyway. So I was able to like neck in, because you would be able to see, and I think that's one of the most beautiful things I've ever experienced. And I'm like, okay. And when I did that for the first time, it felt like I was watching a movie. I felt like I was playing a video game, or what do they call them? A virtual reality kind of 3D. I was watching a 3D virtual reality movie, because that I've never seen anything as beautiful as that. Like, never. Like, at least for me, because I was seeing live fish, different sort of all sorts of I wouldn't say animal, all sorts of fish and creatures that are within deep. Because you see, when you do snorkeling, the gadgets where you are able to see all the way to the bottom, and I would see mountains, I would see caves, and you would see a bit of not craters. I don't remember the name, but it's like you're standing, and you're able to see maybe 200 feet down, or I don't know if that's accurate. Like, you're able to see so far down, but there's a beautiful life down there. Anyway, so the point is that I did not resist, and of course, despite the life jacket, you can still actually you can panic, and anything can happen. But I had learned that you cannot resist, especially in water, because if you resist, that's it. You will definitely drown, and if you and that means you're gone. So going back to, you know, rock resilience or resistance, acceptance, water, love. It's and just I don't know how to explain this, but I've in the last 24 hours I've felt relieved, as unhappy as a person, and I just woke up and I just wanted to work, you know, and I just felt like calling and apologizing to, you know, business partners, loved ones, and I mean, but it all comes down to that aspect of acceptance. But now here's the irony: at what point do you know, or how far can you go between resistance and acceptance? I don't know, and I think different people would have different experiences. Perhaps different people would have different time frames, or you know, and also there could be external factors, right? For example, it could be distractions, abuses. For in other cases, it could be you know, individuals, or but again, in my experience, you may not necessarily do it alone. It's possible, but in fact, if you pay attention, actually, you'll find that resistance, right, not by you, but from the universe. Because in my case, I was feeling resistance from the universe, resistance, rejection, and then because that is from without, I think, because again, perhaps the environment around you feels you're giving out that sadness, that rock sort of you know, vibe. So it, the universe just resists you. It just so in my experience, I think in terms of how long, it will all depend on maybe how fast the universe, or the environment around you, or the people around you are able to express or to show you, or things are not working. So so how, when you realize it, I think it depends on different personalities. Like in my case, I would say now, I wouldn't say I'm a stubborn person. I would say I'm a fighter. I think I don't believe that there's no solution to any challenge, right? And it takes a lot for me to accept that actually this one, you know, I accept. So, but there are other people different, right? So I think depending on the individual, I think it would vary in terms of how long it takes, and at the same time, you probably will have to you will need, you know, people around you. You will need because they'll keep pointing those signals. You're like you know, a plane trying to land or take off. You know, you're being directed. So how long you take to pick the signals, I think it varies. But and really, you cannot not fight. That you cannot. But how do you know when not to fight? How do you know when not to resist? How do you know when not to accept? That I don't know. But I think if the external factors that I become like, if you're able, if you see, or you are aware, you become aware of external factors, that could be an influence to your to your rock sort of resistance, kind of vibe. I mean, if you can, I think, recognize those ones, and maybe, and try, not even maybe, like, accept them, and uh, put them away, or get rid of them, or change that, whatever it is. I think that can fast track the time for anyone, again, depending on your experience, so, on your personality. And at the same time, you'll have to also be able to believe in your support system, right? Because you'll have to believe in them somehow. Not even, you just have to be to know that, this is my supporter, they mean well. So even when you're having that rock kind of resistance experience, because it will happen to you, to anyone, there's no, you cannot, no, you have to go through that experience if you're living, and it will, keep probably occurring depending on the situation. So I think it's easier to listen, and you just keep picking, because now you keep now you will see the signals faster. So it will all depend, but I think the most important thing is to try as much as possible to kick away any form of external factors, things from without, that could be aiding your rock sort of experience, whether it's drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, or watching movies, or it can be anything, social media, anything. So the sooner you realize that, and try to minimize those, I think then you can fast track your gap between converting from rock resistance to acceptance, water, love. And I really think that this for me was very important. So unbelievably, I feel like nothing has changed. I'm the same person. Everything is the same, And actually, it doesn't mean that the challenges I'm having have been solved, right? No, but if you the perception is different, right? The feeling is different. The ability to communicate is absolutely different, right? So it also means that it becomes not much easier, but I think it could be easier to fast track that transition. So sorry, this has been a long video, but like I said, I speak things as they happen, and I think it is important that some of the things, because we are different, and I think for me personally, it just comes easier for me to relate to things, and I think it would be selfish of me, to keep those kind of experiences, and so. In the end, I would want to say, please, whatever it is, always be water. Always try to be water. Always try to flow, and you will definitely flourish. You cannot give what you don't have. If you If you have love for yourself, that's what you'll give. If you have happiness for yourself, that's what you'll give. If you're sad, if you're going through a sad, if that's what you'll give. So it's important to understand that and have that experience. So thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to your feedback, and catch you soon. Richard out.